Hello guys, and welcome in this new video in the game engine series. Hope you guys are doing good. Now I know it's been a long time I haven't uploaded a video, and yeah, the reason for that is because I'm still a student, so I have exams, I have things that I have to work on, and it's sometimes difficult to actually manage all that and upload more videos and things like that. But yeah, I'm there now, and I'm uploading this video, and this is gonna be really interesting. I think you are going to like this. Now, what are we gonna be talking about? So if you remember from the previous video, this is all normal stuff, me moving things around with the mouse and dragging and drop. That's all normal. But now, what if I want to store, or what if I want to save the changes that I'm making using my mouse, like here for example? So what if I want to store this so that I can simply close the program, run it again, and get the same result? Because that's actually what we want. We don't want to be coming around and do the same thing every time we open the program. So we want to be able to actually store the state that we have. So now that's what I manage. So if I kind of move this thing here, so let me kind of put this right here and show you my console. Where is this weird thing here? So if I hit the S key, you see I have this coming out, so I need to slow this down a little bit because he's doing this job twice, so need to slow it down, but it's okay. Simply use SCL delay and that will be the job. Now, and you can see if I go out and close this and run it again, you see I have everything in place. So I can move this back, hit the S key, close it, run it again, and you can see I have the same result. So that's actually something that you want to have in your game. You want to be able to actually edit stuff without having to write the code. You know, you just want to put like 1,000 objects there and arrange them, and then store that so that you can come back later and simply use it as you stored it. So that's the idea of this video. So let's get started. So first of all, before I really dive into that, I want to mention the fact that I've changed a lot in this code. This is really a new version, I would say, because I started over, and I've changed the architecture of many things because I wasn't satisfied with that, with the way they were working, and I thought I might start over and actually see my weakness and yeah, bring it with more consistency. So yeah, but I'm gonna be uploading a series of videos, so the upcoming videos are gonna be about the changes I made, so that you guys can always catch me on, so that you guys can know what I've been working on and things like that. But this video is exactly about one of these changes that I made, so about this saving stuff. So as you can see right here, I created this class right here called game scene. This is like a game level. This variable will simply store all information about the current level we're playing at. So it's important because it was kind of difficult for me in the previous version to actually access things like the tile map or the player or the game object throughout the code. But I want to be able to do that, because if I have to handle collision between the players and the enemy, then I need to be able to access the object of that level. So that's the whole idea of that. So, and I simply have this game scene which stores like the player, for example, the tile map. Yeah, this is the index of the collision layer, because this tile map right here has 3 layers. So if you're watching this for your first time, I've created a lot of videos about this, and I explain how I created the tile map using tile editor, so that I could draw many layers and simply use them to draw things on the screen. So I have my 3 layers right here, and the third one right here is my collision layer. So this is 0, 1, and 2. That's why I have the 2. I'm gonna be coming to that. I'm not there yet. I'm sorry. So game object, and yeah, now this is the save changes. Before I get to that, just want to switch to the game engine, to the engine class, and show you how I use this. So this engine class has this member variable called game scene, which is going to be storing the information about the current scene, the current level. And you can see right here the index of the layer, the collision layer, should be the second one, or no, the third one, because the index starts from 0. And now I have my tile map that I simply create. You can see right here the parser function for the tile map is now inside of the tile map class itself. So I decided to do it that way because I thought each classes that needs to parse something needs to implement its own parser. So that's why I changed it like that, because it makes more sense for me. And I also have the factory right here, which can factor or create all the game object. So he's gonna be parsing all the game object from this file right here. So it's a XML file in which I can define my object. You can see right here, in which I can define my object. And this is also the file in which I'm going to be saving the changes that I made. I'm just going to be updating. So since these objects are going to be loaded and created inside of the memory of the computer, I could access the information about those objects and rewrite it inside of this file to actually store the state. So that's the idea. So to create the player. And now the only thing I can do here is to render the tile map, render the player position, and you know, render each game object, things like that. Render each game object, and now update each game object. But now we have this part right here where we actually handle this small event. Need to add like a delay right here because the computer is sometimes too fast and you don't want it to mess up repeating this event. So that's why I want to make sure I put it at the end, because so just like that, because if I don't do this, the computer will repeat this event more time and he will store the information in this file many times. So I don't actually want that. That's why I want to delay a little bit. So now I simply call the game change the save changes. So, and I now want to switch back to that and show you how it's working. So up till now, all we have been doing is loading from XML file. We haven't write anything inside of the XML file because we didn't have to. So now, since we need to store things, we need to actually write inside of XML file. That's why I simply go out here in this change function, save change. I create a virtual document, a DOM, something like that. I think it's a document object module, I don't know, whatever. So something like that. We create a document, and so this is how an XML document should look like. So I simply create the document, and the first thing I create inside of that document is the first part right here. You can see, and I say I declare this. This is using the version 1.0, and we want to also specify the encoding to make sure you know, we don't get some weird character coming out. And now I create the root component, which is going to be this one right here called objects, because it's like the root which contains all the objects. So I actually didn't have to do that. I don't know why I did that, so whatever, but just wanted to do like that. Okay, and now here I can loop through my game objects list and now get the information about each object and create the object right here and set the attribute of that object. So that's what I'm doing. So I simply loop and I take the game object, get the properties of that, get props, then simply go out and create a new object, which is this tag right here. If you've ever done HTML things, then this should be you know, like playing game for you. So, and I can set the attribute, like the first one is going to be type, and I have property object type because I want to be able to recreate this object with the type he has right now. If I don't do that, then he's probably going to be creating some weird things that I don't want to have. The texture ID, so if I have a static object which only has a texture, So I want to make sure I store that texture ID to actually recreate that later. The position, you want to have your object at the same position. The orientation, the scale, the parallax factor. Now the parallax factor, I'm going to be talking about that a little bit more later in another video, but it's just a variable which defines how fast this object is going to be moving according to the camera. So that's the idea of that. So it's like a ratio. It normally has value from 0 to 1. So if it has a value from 1, it's going to be synchronized with the camera, and if it has a value of 0, then he's going to be static. So that's the idea, and everything in between is going to be asynchronous. You get what I mean? The alpha is nothing but the angle, the inclination. So if you want to rotate the object, you want to be able to specify the angle of that. So each object has all this information, and you want to make sure you store all of that. So, and that's just how I do that. And I simply go out and save inside of my file, which is given as parameter. So, and that's what I simply give here, which is the object we've passed before from. You can see right here, it's the same thing that I did here. So, and when I simply run the code, the program is running. Yeah, it's there. When I simply run the code, you see we can have our object, and I can store this, close this, and run it again, and I have my object. Just like that, everything is working just fine. So that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something from this. And just want to let you know that if you have any question, any concern, if anything wasn't clear, if you want to know something specific, just let me know in the comment section below, because sometime I can do videos about things that you're probably not interested in, and so I think it's important if you can kind of write things down there so I know what you think. And I also want to say, if you guys made it till now, so go out and support my work on Patreon. You'll also get free access to the source code, and yeah, that's just something I could actually let you know. So I'm still writing my book. For those of you who are following me, I'm still writing the book. It's really difficult. I'm probably gonna be talking about how I'm doing that, so that you guys can share your thought with me. So let me know in the comment section if you want to know how I'm doing that. Maybe you want to get inspired by what I'm doing, or maybe you already had experience in that and you want to share with me. So I don't want to be talking too much. Have a nice night or day, whatever, and see you in the next video. Ciao.